Welcome folks, it's perfect weather for another Medieval 2 online battle. As you can see, it's rainy, it's shitty, and it's, as I said, perfect for a battle. And it's a high period battle, and 10k standard rules, and involves me commanding the Danes, and my opponent commanding the French. So the power of my Danish army lies in their infantry, the strength of the French army lies in their freaking heavy cav, which should dominate any medieval battlefield. Real life, both in this game actually. So I went with 1 unit of Huscarls on each wing, 2 units of Chilvaric Knights in the middle, General Bodyguards, 4 units of Dismounted Chilvaric Knights, 1 Huscarl, dismounted one, on each wing, and 4 Norse Swordsmen, and just 2 meat-shield units of Peasant Archers. Not to be expected to have much of an impact in this battle. My opponent has 4 units of Peasant Archers up front. He's got 1 unit of armor sergeants on each wing, a peasant in the back, 4 units of dismounted chivalric knights as the main battle line, and the real meat of his army, the chivalric, a line of 5 chivalric and noble knights plus the general's bodyguard. So I'm saying screw this shit. I'm not gonna wait for you to surround my guys. I know he's got more heavy cav than me, so I'm going to charge his lines. And I'm going to try to damage his lines as much as I can, although that first line of meat-shield Peasant Archers did absorb much of the damage still. I'm moving my Huscarls over here, and with the idea that I will tie up some of his cav that I saw was moving on that way, and these guys, and I forgot about them, and these guys are going to get... Nope! They're not going to get charged. So, I don't know what happened there, but I got lucky. So both of us, I guess, forgot about what was going on here, and instead of my opponent charging my guys, he's just going to face them in a standard battle. And instead of just using 1 unit of his Chilvaric Knights to do that, he's going to use all 3 of them. On the other hand, I'm moving my dismounted Huscarls over here. I want to surround because I want to surround his dismounted Chilvaric Knights. I have moved my first line of infantry, which would be my Norse Swordsmen, into the battle. And I will slowly start to chew up his line. I have more infantry than him. It's pretty much the same quality, but the bad thing is, on this wing, my cav pretty much got routed. They got stuck in there after the initial charge, and they got routed, which is really not good. But the good part, the good news is my opponent is not going to use his what was left of his cav, which is his general bodyguard units, to hammer anvil my guys, but he's going to stick those guys right in the middle of the fighting. Now I pulled my general's bodyguards out of there, and since I see how this is evolving, I say, okay, these guys are tied up, but sooner or later he's gonna figure that he can just use one of those guys, one of those units to tie up my Huscarls, which are really bravely holding out in there. So I'm going to use also my general's bodyguard, but basically sacrifice him to tie these guys up a bit longer, so that my line has all the time in the world. My Vikings have all the time in the world to chew up his guys. The remainder of his cav is also tied up in this fight, so they're not using their charge bonus, and my guys are hacking and slashing here with their axes and their armor piercing damage. My first wave of... There goes his general. I told you those axes were good. The first wave of Norse Swordsmen are now reinforced by the second line of dismounted Chilvaric Knights. But he's also had his line reinforced with the armor sergeant, but he doesn't have the numbers to hold out in there much longer. That's why I wanted to tap his line over here, tap his cav over here, because that was absolutely crucial for his victory here. He really needed to charge the fuck out of my guys, and he did not, because he got his cav stuck. I also made a micro mistake and got my cav stuck, but that wasn't the crucial element in my battle plan. The crucial element was my infantry. There goes my general. That was to be expected. The crucial element of my battle plan was my infantry, but it was still a real dumb move for me to lose my cav on my left like that, to get my cav stuck, because I would have needed those guys in pretty much defensive purposes. But So far so good. As you can see, I lost 45% of my guys. My opponent lost 70% of his guys. And here I will charge at his guys that are that came back from routing. I'm going to pretty much surround those guys. And now, as when his cav is freed up, and as you can see, it did a lot of damage to those 3 units of Noble and Chilvaric. Well, those are all only Noble, no Chilvaric Knights. So as you can see, I did a lot of damage to them, and he's not going to use them to influence the main part of the battle, but he's going to route my archers. I don't think that's ever a good idea. So I see a lot of people doing that. Try to get those guys where the battle is really crunching and get them fast. I mean, screw that archers. I mean, if there were musketeers, something like that, okay. Those guys have a big impact on battles, but Peasant Archers, come on. This is where the battle is being won or lost, even though by now the chances are pretty slim that he will win the battle. Nonetheless, I've seen these kinds of battles getting turned around, especially by heavy cav, because these guys are pretty badass. And of course, they were designed to dominate. Whoa, that guy flew! Designed to dominate medieval battlefields, and if you use them as they were supposed to be used, as charging and retreating, you can still turn this battle. But he doesn't do that. My opponent does not do that. He just bunches them up again, and he just gets them stuck in another toe-to-toe standard fight. And well, these guys were not meant to be used in such a manner for prolonged periods of time. Backbone infantry is supposed to be used like that. As you can see, my guys, Dismounted Chilvaric Knights over here are pretty much standing their ground. As I said, that's what they were designed to do. And these guys are going to start routing sooner or later. They're going to start. They started losing a lot of men. Wavering, shaken. So, as I said, they're going to start routing any second now. And in the back, he's only got his armored sergeants there coming, and I'm trying to just speed things up, and I'm going to try and surround them with my Norse Swordsmen. Only 1 unit is left. I think that unit is going to rout endmen now too. Yep, there they go. So what he's left with is only his armored swordsmen and 2 units. No, 1 unit for the Dismounted Huscarls Knights and 2 units for the Dismounted Huscarls Knights, and heavily depleted in a Peasant Archer unit. And of course, I'm going to. I was going to rout them pretty easily. My opponent went defeat before I could do that. I deployed, as you can see, 1,350 guys. My opponent pretty much deployed the same number of guys. I lost 761 guys. My opponent lost 1,154 guys. It was an average victory. And as you can see, I used my Chilvaric Knights to good effect. Also my Huscarls had a nice amount of casualties inflicted. Did inflict a nice amount of casualties. That's right. That's the right way to say that. And as you can see, my backbone infantry did also very well. Everyone did their job. It was a team effort to win this battle by all of my units. Let's put it that way. So guys, hope you enjoyed this battle, and I hope you will stick around to see more battles to come. Bye bye.